What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. I'm just sitting here waiting for the rainstorm to start because it's going to be absolutely therapeutic. All right. But what I want to talk about here today, and what we're going to explore, is what Pan-Africanism is doing, and what Pan-Africans are doing. And I would say this is compared to what FBA is doing, right? But FBA is not doing anything, all right? But online, right? But I want you to see what happens when you adopt the Pan-African ideology, not a fake, like, right-wing Christian conservative pseudo Pan-African ideology, all right? Because that shit don't exist. I'm talking about real progressive, all right, Pan-African ideologies and moves, and see how we do it. Oh, here we go. You see it? Yeah. I want you to see what we doing, all right? Because African Americans are out here winning. We're out here winning. Pan-African African Americans are out here winning, all right? So, without further ado, I'm going to enjoy this rainstorm, which I came outside on purpose to enjoy, all right? And I want you to enjoy this video. It's a happy video, because you're going to see the Pan-African way of life is the best way of life, and it's the future, all right? Anyway, that's all I got to say for now, guys. Afro Think Tank, learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Now we in sunny South Africa, you know, in mid-rand. You see how nice it is, man. How can you gonna sit here and tell me not to come to Africa? Look how nice this place is, man. And it gets even better. You feel me? It gets even better, man. And you got security, you know. You got security. You know. Can't nobody just come up in your shit, you know what I'm saying? Got a pool area over there. I mean, then you got Mall of Africa.
Black Americans buying land in Rwanda, Africa.
Well, my land's over there.
Right. So this starts Wandy land. There goes Andrew. Always here to help. This is her view. Wait, we got to get the view.
This is my view, my vista.
This is the airport out in the distance. It really doesn't look like anything, but that's the airport. This is the view.
Far enough away.
What mountain is? No, that's not a mountain. Those are more houses. So this is her land here, residential land. It just looks like land right now, but if you look over here, they said late last year, this was nothing. And people are building houses. With this view, this is going to be some prime real estate as well. It's near, well, an up-and-coming movie theater, y'all. And here is a house currently being built. Okay, Wandy, what are you doing with your land?
I'm going to do eco-lodging on my land.
Okay, what is eco-lodging?
Eco-lodging is short and medium-term lodging for people that are coming here to do digital nomading or doing corporate visits to the airport. This is strategically located between the city and the airport, and it's in a quiet area. So it's a great place for corporates to come and chill.
All right. Okay. And you said you're going to do container homes, correct? That's something you're thinking about.
It is a consideration. The only challenge is they're not necessarily sanctioned at this time. There are container homes here, but they exist as temporary housing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for long term, we'll have to figure out what that's going to look like.
Okay.
But I think the time is right for investigating that because we're in a very progressive country and we have an awesome administration and His Excellency is very progressive. So
okay.
the time is right to be here.
Right. So, all right. Well, I love that.
Yeah, so right now, as you can see, the land has been used for agricultural land. It has recently been rezoned for residential land, and I'm just excited about it. I think I'm up high enough to get this fantastic vista. And then there's going to be a road right here.
Okay.
And then there's a road just along there.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that road
this way will take
is a shortcut to the airport.
Oh, okay. So you're going to have a lane to the road to the airport too. All roads lead to that airport. You want to make sure you get something that will lead to that new airport. Yep, Kigali Bugesera Airport. Well, thank you, ma'am, for showing us around.
Thank you so much for coming. I love visitors.
All right, y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I will see y'all at the next location.
What did your friends and family think about you when you told them you wanted to relocate to Kenya?
I don't think they were too surprised. They know me, so they know how I am and how I'm usually go against the current and do my own thing.
Right.
They were overwhelmingly supportive in terms of like, oh, that's great. I'm excited to see you do it. Keep me in touch, take me with you, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As far as them wanting to do it themselves, they weren't enthusiastic. As far as me buying land and then them seeing it and then them seeing what I built on it, I got more excited. And I think, like I said, as I continue to like etch away at developing it, and it becomes more of a visual thing versus a faith thing.
Right.
A lot more people are going to be interested in doing the same thing.
Worldwide, Moringa is an $8 billion business, and it's projected by 2030 to be an $18 billion business.
Moringa is actually a $9 billion a year industry. What does that mean? That means around the world, over $9 billion is consumed, traded, bought, and sold around the whole world when it comes to moringa. Moringa is so useful. Every single part of this tree can be used, from the leaves to the cuttings to the seeds and everything in between. Even the roots produce a tuber that is even used for spice.
I'm telling the youth of Ghana that farming is not about hoe and cutlass. You can be a farmer and buy any car of your type. You can be a farmer and do whatever you want to do in this life. So don't see agriculture as using of hoe and cutlass.
In Ghana, the opportunities are here. You got to think big, though. You know, like I say, if you want to go into agriculture for financial gain, you can't do a plot or two plots.
Bill Gates owns more land than all of the entire city of New York. Jeff Bezos' land is double the amount, clocking in at 420,000 acres.
But I was surprised. I thought it'd be different moving here in Ghana. I thought I would see a more brotherhood, sisterhood here among, Africans here. I'm shocked. I think Ghana is going to be one of the top agricultural providers in the world.
Can I ask you a question? Can someone become a millionaire from farming this moringa you're talking about?
20 times over.
20 times over?
Yeah.
So if I farm moringa on 20 acres, in the next 5 years, I will become a multi-millionaire.
In dollars.
In dollars.
You see, so if you are youth today and you are listening to me, just go into agriculture. You don't even need much knowledge to go into agriculture, and you can do it. And all of us can do it.
Those days that people see farming as a punishment, but I can tell you, farming is no more punishment.
But when you were a child and your dad and your mom was taking you to farm, you thought it was a punishment.
Oh yeah. That is how I was saying it. I thought my father is punishing me. Sometimes you go and they give you a portion to eat. If you are not able to do it, they will come back and beat you. They will even tell you that they will not give you food because you are not able to complete your task for the day. So at that time, we say it as a punishment.
So I always say that when you study agriculture in school and you're complaining about unemployment, it means you haven't gone to agri college or you haven't studied agri.
Say that again.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Land is your biggest thing that you can ever own. Because a man with no land cannot dream.
Yeah.
But if you have land, you can dream.
Yeah.
You can do anything. You can shape and build anything if you got land. So that's why I'm saying he's living the dream. He literally lived out can't tell me nothing, right? He really lived out that.
As a local to South Africa, how much access do you guys have for land purchasing?
So there's two ways of purchasing. In Gauteng, which is where I'm at right now, it's not that great because the land doesn't necessarily belong to us in a sense. It's still sort of state owned, bank owned. So for instance, if I bought land in Gauteng, maybe 30 by 30 square meters, I'd be purchasing that in Gauteng for maybe about 200 to 300,000 rands. But if I'm in Mpumalanga, for instance, it's dirt cheap. I could get away with the same piece of land for about 30 to 40,000 rand.
Okay.
You know, so what the other thing I want to say is most land in Mpumalanga, for instance, is chief owned. So, for instance, when I say chief owned, I'll make two examples or the same example, but in between these two places, right? So if I own a house in Gauteng and I get into deep debt, right, they can repossess everything, including the house, right? But in Mpumalanga, for instance, check the comment right there. In Mpumalanga, for instance, if I'm building on a chief-owned piece of land and I am in knee-deep debt, they can repossess the possession. So your TVs, your cars and whatnot, they cannot touch the house at all. So this is the reason why most millionaires and billionaires will go buy a huge piece of land, build a huge house, come live in Gauteng, live out their dreams, even fail if they want to fail, they can, it doesn't matter because they know they've got that backup. That side. So it's easy in Mpumalanga, this side, not so much.
How far are the two from each other?
About 400 and where I'm building is about 460 Ks. So I'm just gonna translate for you that in miles.
Okay.
460 kilometers in miles. That would be about 285 miles.
Okay, so it's about
okay, depending how fast you're driving, about maybe 4 to 5 hours drive.
Yeah, I was going to say about maybe 3.5. I got a Mustang, so probably about 3.5 for me, and for everybody else about 4.
Yeah. So if you're respecting the speed limits, definitely 4 to 5 hours.
Oh, 4 to 5, yeah. Yeah, I see. Okay. All right. So for the land that's chief owned, that's more like village, virgin, fertile land?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that basically what you do, you get what they call an RTO. I mean, in Mpumalanga, you still have suburbs, by the way. You have urban areas as well, but the chief-owned spaces, you get what they call an RTO. This is a right to occupy. So, and it's a dirt cheap amount that you pay every year, like dirt cheap. I think it's about $60 a year. It's very cheap, and you get the right to occupy, and that can't be touched. Whatever you build on that cannot be touched by the bank. They can come repossess your cars, your couches, your TVs, but never the house.
So this is like, so it's almost like a land lease, so to speak.
100%. Yes, that's what an R2 is. Yes.
Okay.
So you're renting that out from the chief for your lifetime, I guess.
No, I can definitely see that. Like if let's say for instance, there's a company in, I want to say I think it's in Ghana, and my guy Nelson Boltman, he does affordable housing out of he recycles plastic and then he creates affordable housing. So let's say that I paid $100 a year for me to lease the land. And then I built, let's say I spent $1,000 for 12 months building a $12,000 house. And then I just continued to pay the $100 a year on top of that land. And I kept up with everything, then I would be able to formulate an entire lifestyle around that piece of land by continuing to pay the $100 a year.
100%. And I don't think they're very strict on missed payments. They're not that strict. I think it's because the money itself is so little that they just say, hey, you've missed about 2-3 years. Can you please catch up? It's so easy to catch up, you know. You can even pay like 3 to 7 years ahead, which they try to avoid because they want to have everybody paying on the year, never ahead. You can be late, but don't pay ahead. I think this is also to prevent price changes. So in case there is price changes in the next year, so you're not paying $50 for that year, you pay the new amount or whatever the case is.
Who gets to set the new amount? The chief?
The chief. So as far as I understand it, it's the local kings as well sit down and have that meeting as to how the prices go higher or whatever the case is. But, you know, municipalities still gets involved these days. They still gets involved because they supply water, they supply electricity and all of that. So they sort of found a way to make themselves relevant, you know. But on my piece of land, they're not going to be that relevant because I'm definitely off the grid.
I see.
I just got back from Rwanda. I bought some land down there. Yeah, so I'm looking to build a house to get back to the motherland, get back to the continent. So hopefully that means something to every ancestor who tried to get back and who wanted to get back. And, you know, and inspires the next generation and their when they have kids and so on and so forth. So we'll never, you know, the next generations will never not know what it was like to not be in the motherland. You know what I mean? There's a feeling of, I just feel like I belong. You know, I feel like, you know, when I get off that plane, I breathe the air and I put my feet on that ground and I feel that soil and I see the people, man. You're just like, man.
Bro, I own land. This is what you gotta understand, bro. I own land, okay? And I own a house in West Africa, bro. I'm an owner, bro. At 22 years old, bro, I own land and I owned a house in West Africa, bro. At 22 years old. I don't know another 22-year-old, bro, who owns a house, bro, or owns land anywhere. I don't know a 22-year-old who owns property, okay? Like, I'm starting to do more research and learning more about real estate now because I own land and I own property. Comment the word travel. I'm going to send you a direct, personalized digital travel guide. Literally $2.50.
I'm telling you, buy land. Land is so cheap. If you do your research, there are countries where land is even 20 times cheaper than the same acres of land in America. Buy houses. I'm telling you, houses are so cheap compared to prices in America. Houses are even, you'll find African countries that houses are 20 times cheaper than they are in America. Start investing in African businesses. Start investing in something. Invest in something in Africa. Have a plan B, because I'm telling you, when that BRICS currency drops, you remember my name, you remember my words, but it'll be too little, too late.
So we just bought land in Zanzibar, Tanzania, beachfront land, white sand beaches, crystal clear water, and the goal is to develop that into hospitality projects. So that would be a hotel, restaurant, and so on. But one thing that I'm really excited about and why I decided to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into buying this land in Zanzibar is that, again, I work in the travel industry. And so I have this unique insight into where are people traveling, what makes a destination truly iconic where people are going to keep coming back, and what makes a destination one that over time you can really start to see your property appreciate. So in the past, I bought land and I built in Bali, and I've also had some other investments in different countries. But Zanzibar for me is really exciting because of where it is right now, where they've just opened up to foreign investment. And so as an international person coming in, you can buy land. You can do that under the ZIPA authority, which means that you do need to get a license and approval. But Zanzibar is one of those places that really, for me, rivals the Maldives. When you talk about the water, the beaches, and then on top of that, you have the culture, you have the adventure aspect. And so I really see it becoming a place where people are traveling and coming back to. And that's why I'm investing early. You know, I'm really excited about what this means for Africa as a tourism destination. And Zanzibar is one of those places that I truly believe will be at the top of the list in terms of luxury Africa travel. But it's a place where I feel like you have to be an investor that is comfortable with risk, because it is an early investment opportunity. But of course, you're going to get those high returns over time. If you also look at Zanzibar, a lot of the major players are starting to come into the market. So the Four Seasons, Anantara, Dubai, they are investing hundreds of millions into the island because, again, they see that opportunity. And so for me as an investor, I want to get into the market early before things truly start to appreciate.
If you are tired of America, baby, this is what you can get for $90,000 in Africa. A beautiful 2-bedroom luxury condo. Y'all sitting up here talking about you don't want to be in America. You need to be tapping into opportunities like this in Africa. This is what they are building. Beautiful luxury townhomes. Baby, you better get your money together because they don't have banks or mortgages. They do seller financing, owner financing. You got to be prepared to put 5%, 10%, up to 20% down. You will be making monthly payments on your property, and your property will be completely debt free in 36 months to 48 months. We just purchased a condo in Africa, a new build that will finish building in 2028. And they have condos out there, 1-bedroom ocean view models in beautiful Ghana for $70,000. You put a small down payment and you make your monthly payments over 36 months. Listen, you ready to go to Africa, you ready to buy you a property in Africa, and you ready to move to beautiful Africa and live in something gorgeous like this, baby, you better tap into Africa Property right now. You want to know how to do it. You want to get connected to these sellers. Click that link in our bio, y'all, and grab our International Land Guide bundle. You're going to learn how to buy your first property in Africa. You're going to get connected to the sellers. You're also going to get the Africa Land Guide that's going to show you how to buy land in Africa as well. They only do seller financing. Listen, it's time for about 10,000 of us to tap into Africa and buy our first apartment, townhome, or condo in Africa. Listen, when you purchase your International Africa Guide, I want you to comment down below.
Elijah Muhammad said,
New woman president of Namibia is taking back the land from German settlers. On May 28th, Namibia held its first G-Side Remembrance Day. It commemorated when Germans came to the country and murdered over 100,000 indigenous people. This was considered the first G-Side of the 20th century. Similar to South Africa, Namibia has 8% white people in the country, yet they own 70% of the farmland. And they got that through cruelty and brutality. From 1884 to 1915, the Germans came in and wrecked shop, honey. When the indigenous tried to fight back, they created concentration camps. Seems like that's kind of a trend for them. And these camps are considered Germany's first concentration camps. You know, before Auschwitz, and the German military executed those that didn't want to give up their land. In 2021, Germany finally admitted to what they did there. Germany promised that they would pay them $1.2 billion or $40 million for every year. However, Germany has not returned the looted land that they stole. So now, the government of Namibia said they're taking it back. And the German settlers are not very happy with that. Looks like Africa is starting to set a trend. They want their land back. No matter if it's South Africa or Namibia, you don't belong there.
I can't let you go without talking about Africa. What is the investment opportunity in today's market?
And I do a lot of investing in Ghana because so many things in the infrastructure for me allured me and pulled me in. What Ghana in essence has done in their country is set it up in a way that they have more structures in place so you can protect your assets before you buy a property and find out like 20 people own that same acre of land. Safety level wise as well, Ghana is right now is a place that we're seeing that the crime levels are some of the lowest in West Africa. And then outside of that, imagine you can build in Ghana, right, or in certain parts of Africa for cheaper than you would build out here in the UK or in the United States, but then your return is higher. To give you an example, the equivalent of what you would get, like say in New York City, Manhattan, that would cost you, let's say the tenant would be paying $2,000 a month. There are properties for that same price of what you would have rehabbed it for that would go for $4,000, $5,000 US in Ghana. So you're looking at properties that people don't realize there's a certain level of wealth that is there.
I lived in New York the last 15 years of my life before leaving the US. So that already is not everyone's norm of life, right? Just the pace of how it moves or the late night hours that we're out to and many other things. But I would say I'm definitely more chill here. The other thing is I moved to Africa when I was 35. So I'm in my mid 40s, you know, my early mid 40s now at this point. So I'm also a different person, you know, and I'm at a different stage of life than I was then in my 20s or my early 30s as an adult. That's part of it. I always say Mauritius taught me how to unplug because I needed to come down from that fast-paced New York speed, and I didn't appreciate Mauritius in the way I would have if I lived there now. So when I got to Rwanda, I was already in a bit more chilled out. So I'm able to appreciate the walks. But I will say my personality is one where I'm gonna always be doing the most. Hi everyone, I am Autumn Marie. I am the founder and CEO of Kigali Forward. We are a PR, experiential, and capacity building agency for creative and communications. So come take a look inside. We're actually in the process of kind of redesigning the inside of our office. So we are in an in-between moment. So hopefully at some other point, you may visit us or you'll see us somewhere else and we'll be at the finished stage of that. So we rent a house here as our office. And one of my favorite things about this office is the view, especially when I'm here working really late at night. Like, look at this. I know like nothing beats like a high level, like high storied like office when you're working in a big office building and being able to just see out. But let me tell you this, I feel like I can compete with you for people who have the corner offices in like a really, really tall high rise office building. I can compete with you with this view. But seriously, one of the things, especially when there's a lot going on, sometimes it's just to come, sit out here and work and be able to look out at this. It's soothing, it's peaceful. When things get really, really hectic with clients, there's a lot going on, or I just want to feel the sun and I just want to appreciate it and be able to be a part of everything that is around, especially, you know, sometimes the day is beautiful outside and everyone has a day where like, I wish I could just be out instead of being in the office. So I love that I can be both. I can be in the office and out. And when I'm here really late at night, I love that when I come out to leave, I'm able to see this with like the night view and the lights.
Our lifestyle is good. We both work, so we spend a lot of time either at the school or in our office, and also just running around a lot. It's also a place where it's fairly easy to get to know people, so we spend a lot of time going to different events, going out to dinner with people, moving around a lot. So we probably only eat at home a couple days a week, but most evenings, number of evenings a week, there's one or both of us is running around to some function or just having dinner out.
We are African, and we happen to be in America. We're not American. We are people who formerly were Africans who were kidnapped and brought to America. Our forefathers weren't the Pilgrims. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us. We were brought here against our will. We were not brought here to be made citizens. We were not brought here to enjoy the constitutional gifts that they speak so beautifully about today. And because we weren't brought here to be made citizens today, now that we've become awakened to some degree and we begin to ask for those things which they say are supposedly for Americans, they look upon us with hostility and unfriendliness. So our unwanted presence, the fact that we are unwanted, is becoming magnified in all of America's preachments today.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such an extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.